I thought my life with Vanessa was perfect. We had a beautiful home, two amazing kids, and a love story that everyone envied. Or so I thought. The signs were there, I just didn't want to see them. The late nights at the office, the secret phone calls she'd rush out of the room to take, the way she'd suddenly become defensive if I asked a simple question about her day. I brushed it all off as stress from her new promotion. I wanted to be the supportive husband, the one who trusted his wife completely. Our 10th anniversary was approaching, and I planned a huge surprise party. I invited all our friends and family, everyone who had watched our love grow over the years. I spent weeks coordinating everything from the catering to the decorations, wanting to show her just how much she meant to me. The night of the party, she looked stunning. She was laughing, mingling, playing the perfect hostess and doting wife. She gave a speech about our decade together, her voice filled with what I thought was genuine emotion. She looked me right in the eyes and said, "Patrick, you're my rock, my everything. I can't imagine my life without you." Everyone cheered, and I felt like the luckiest man alive. Just a few days later, the illusion shattered. I was looking for a document on our shared family computer when an email notification popped up. The sender's name was Mark, and the subject line was "last night." My heart started pounding. I told myself it was nothing, probably a work colleague. But my gut screamed at me to open it. I clicked, and my world fell apart. It was an email chain filled with messages that left no doubt. They talked about secret meetings, hotel rooms, and feelings they couldn't control. The worst part was the dates. They had been together just the night before our anniversary party. While I was at home, putting the finishing touches on her celebration, she was with him. The email I opened was from Mark, and it was brutal. He wrote about how amazing the night before the party was, and how he couldn't stand seeing her pretend with me. He said, "Watching you with him at that party, playing the happy wife, was torture." I wanted to scream. "Hey, when are you going to tell him it's over?" It was all there in black and white. The lies, the betrayal. I scrolled through older messages, a sick feeling growing in my stomach. They had inside jokes, pet names for each other. They had a whole other life that I knew nothing about. Vanessa, my Vanessa, was living a double life. The memory of her speech at the party replayed in my head, but this time it was poison.
Ow.
Her words, "You're my rock, my everything," felt like a knife twisting in my gut. How could she stand in front of our family, our children, and lie so flawlessly? How could she look me in the eye, holding my hand, knowing she had been with another man just hours before? The image of her smiling face, the one I had cherished for over a decade, was now a mask. A cruel, deceptive mask hiding a stranger. I felt a rage I had never experienced before, but underneath it was a profound, crushing sadness. The woman I loved, the mother of my children, was a phantom. She didn't exist. I confronted her that evening. I didn't shout, I didn't scream. I just calmly opened the laptop and turned it towards her. I watched as the color drained from her face. The confident, smiling woman from the party was gone, replaced by a cornered, panicked stranger. She started with the classic denials. "It's not what it looks like, and he's just a friend." But the evidence was overwhelming. The lies crumbled one by one until she finally broke down, sobbing. She admitted everything. The affair had been going on for 6 months, ever since she started her new project with Mark. Her excuses were a blur of cliches. She felt neglected. I was always working. We had grown apart. Mark understood her in a way I didn't. Each excuse was another blow. I had supported her career, taken on more with the kids so she could focus on her promotion. I had planned our anniversary party to show her she was the center of my world. The irony was suffocating. She claimed she didn't know how to end it, that she never meant to hurt me. But the hurt was immense, a gaping wound in the middle of my life. I asked her to leave that night. I couldn't bear to look at her, to be in the same house with her. These things happen, they'd say, as if that made the betrayal any less devastating. The hardest part was co-parenting. Seeing her at drop-offs having to maintain a civil front for the sake of the children felt like an impossible task. Her apologies felt hollow, her tears meaningless. How do you forgive someone who shattered your reality so completely? I had to start rebuilding my life from the rubble. It wasn't easy. There were days I could barely get out of bed. But I looked at my children, and I knew I had to be strong for them. They were the innocent victims in all of this, and they deserved a father who was present and stable. I started going to therapy, which was a huge step for me. It gave me a space to process the anger, the grief, and the feeling of utter foolishness for not seeing what was right in front of me. Slowly, very slowly, I began to heal. It's been over a year now. The divorce is final. Vanessa and Mark are together, a fact that still sends a jolt of pain through me from time to time. But the pain is duller now. I'm focusing on myself and my kids. We've found a new normal. I've learned that you can't control other people's actions. You can only control your reaction. I chose to not let her betrayal define me or my future. I chose to be a father my kids could be proud of,